When I first started getting into cooking and wanting to get better at cooking, there was one thing that I kept asking myself time and time again, and that was, how do people know what ingredients go together? I loved the creative aspect of cooking and the fact that you could marry flavors together, and I would love the experience of opening my parents' kitchen cupboards and just mixing ingredients together and kind of making a mess of the kitchen, but discovering these new flavors. But when you go to restaurants and you watch TV, you see so many of these awesome, cool, different flavor combinations, and it's like, how do you know how to use them, and how do you know which ones go together and which ones don't? And this was a question that I kept asking myself even up to the point when I was interested in becoming a chef. And much like many other questions that would be answered in life, the answer boiled down to, you should probably read a book. And I mean no disrespect by that, but if you do read these 3 books that I'm about to recommend, you will have an infinitely better understanding and overall vocabulary of what ingredients go together and what you're allowed to sort of play with. Not to say that there are any hard and fast rules in cooking, or many hard and fast rules in cooking. I'm sure there's quite a few actually. Let's talk about the books. So in this video, I'm going to break down each of these books and mention how it helped me, how it can help you, and the way that I still interact with these books on a regular basis when I'm coming up with new dishes, new videos, or just wants to be inspired and play mix and match with flavors. So I'm actually going to go through these in the order that they helped me out in life. Now, the first one that I found was the Flavour Thesaurus, which is written by Nikki Segnet. Also, for anybody asking, I typically wear glasses or contacts. I'm wearing neither, so this is how I read things. But yeah, the Flavour Thesaurus. Now, for you in America, you're probably not used to seeing the word flavor written correctly. Take notes. So yeah, this book is basically split into sections. So this is like the meaty section, and there's different kinds of meats, and there'll be several pages, a full chapter of different kinds of meat and a ton of different ingredients that they pair with. And this book, you can honestly read it. It's not really like a recipe book or kind of like a reference book. You can use it as that. But as I was getting into cooking, I would leave this in my bathroom. This makes excellent toilet reading. The way that each pairing of ingredients is described can be a little bit different. Sometimes they'll go into sciencey reasons as to why these ingredients pair well together. Sometimes it's anecdotal, like a globe artichoke and lemon. There's a little story about how the author went to Rome and the flavors that he experienced and the way that these things were cooked. You can read this, you can enjoy it, you can take notes from it. Another way which I really like to work with it is that, let's say globe artichokes are in season. I'm looking for inspiration for a new dish. I'll open up the globe artichokes chapter. It's like 3-4 pages of different pairings. I'll go through them, take notes, see what else is in season, see what I have access to, what I enjoy, what flavors I'd like to try out, and what I haven't. So yeah, the Flavour Thesaurus. This helped me out when I was a young culinary student, when I was just getting into cooking. Really enjoy it, still use it. This is actually my second copy. I left the original that I had, which is a lot more beaten up in the States. But yeah, there's a keeper. So next, let's save you for last, let's talk about the Flavor Bible. Wrong spelling of flavor, unfortunate. These all, I think, have dust covers, but I've removed them. This is not what it looks like. I'll leave links to everything in the bio, description. I'll leave links to everything in the description below, and you can take a look at the books and see what you think. But yeah, the Flavor Bible. I use this a lot more like a reference book. So you'll open up to the page on globe artichokes and it'll list all the ingredients that pair reasonably well with a globe artichoke. The ones that pair really well will be highlighted in bold. And there'll be little references to famous chefs and famous dishes that they've made that have used these pairings. Both common and uncommon, this is a really good resource for getting inspiration. It's not necessarily going to give you the specific dishes outside of those few examples, so you do need some sort of technical foundational understanding of how to use these ingredients, because if it tells you globe artichokes pair with almonds, you need to see what you're going to do to those almonds. You're going to need to see how to cook those globe artichokes. These first 2 books are not recipe books. There is very little to follow outside of loose language in this one that you can follow if you have the skills to do so. And in this, it's basically just flavor matched with flavor, and that's all that you're getting. Very useful. I still use this for, again, when I'm putting dishes together to see what pairs with other things, and when new ingredients come into my life to see how I'm going to use them. Now, the last book, oh, sorry, I didn't even say who wrote this. That is embarrassing. This is written by This is written by The Flavor Bible, the essential guide to culinary creativity based on the wisdom of America's most imaginative chefs. This is written by Karen Page and Andrew Dornenberg. Karen Page, Andrew Dornenberg. Thank you guys, this was useful. But okay, last on my list, The Art of Flavor. Now this came out much more recently. This was a good maybe 4 or 5 years ago at this point. This book was written by Daniel Patterson, who is a very famous American Michelin-starred chef and somebody who makes perfume whose name I forget. This is embarrassing. Daniel Patterson and Mandy Aftel. Mandy Aftel. She makes perfumes and knows scents and stuff and is real smart about it. But yeah, The Art of Flavor. So this goes a lot further than these other two, but a lot less specific. So this breaks down a number of different things. So it'll go into what is flavor and how you separate taste and smell and what those contribute. It'll talk a lot about the different tastes and how those interact with each other. I actually use this for a little bit of reference material for that salt video that I just made. You should go check that out. And there's lots of really useful recipes in here. So if it's telling you, if it's explaining to you how to balance fat and acidity and what big pungent ingredients go together and the high notes of a dish and the low notes of a dish, they will give you practical examples, practical recipes, very simple recipes that you can put to good use. And some of them are really impressive. Like there was a really simple one that's just like orange wedges with like flaky salt and chili flakes. And it sounds simple and stupid, but the heat and the saltiness and the acidity and the sweetness, and it's just perfectly balanced and it's a nice little bite. This changed a lot of the ways that I think about food, or at least speak about food. Some of these concepts I had internalized through cooking and experience, but this kind of reinforced a lot of those thoughts. Again, this is one that I would totally recommend reading cover to cover. This will change the way you cook in a very, very positive way and make you think about food on a much, much deeper level. Let's see if I can find some practical examples. The art of flavor. The art of flavor. Yeah, it goes into a lot of detail about spices and herbs and how they interact with each other. There's this useful little wheel, which goes into how you should think about spices and categorize them and think about pairing them. Also, I don't know if I've mentioned it, but yeah, they also spell flavor wrong, so that's a bummer. But yeah, if you want to get a lot better about talking about flavor, analyzing flavor, balancing flavors, this will step up your game. I'm pretty sure I've said this far too many times in this video. Buy this, real good. You're still thinking at this point, that all sounds really cool and useful, but do I really need it to become a better cook? What I will say is, I am somebody who really enjoys the creative aspect of cooking, the playing with food, the just having fun, the just being in the kitchen and cooking. Having these books, reading through these books, having a basic understanding of what flavors go together and how to use them and manipulate them, it makes cooking so much more fun. Once you have a certain amount of knowledge inside of you, it frees you up to not think about things as much. And just look into your fridge, see what you've got and be like, no problem, I'll bring out some of this, some of this, some of that, and we're gonna make something delicious. Or some buddies get over, you've drank way too much and it's 1 in the morning and you're starving, and you look like a legend because you pulled together some really weird combination that everybody's just falling for. Like, it's a really good feeling. So yeah, while books might not always seem like the most fun thing ever, by digesting and understanding the concepts and some of the ideas inside of these books, you will have a lot more fun cooking. I can't remember what the first part of that sentence I was saying was. I hope that made sense. Also, just for context, I'm exhausted. This is the middle of a long session of content shooting. We're in the middle of a 40-degree heat wave here in Malta. So if you're hearing the air conditioner in the background, I apologize, but it's on full blast and it's 29 degrees in my kitchen. I don't know, this is in Fahrenheit, I'm sorry. But I do really enjoy making these videos, so I hope you do find some value in them. If you like these type of videos where I talk about books, I love books. Books will really help you become a much better cook. Let me know what topics you'd like to get better at, if there's any particular cuisines that you want to get better at cooking and you think some books could really help you out. They probably could. Let me know in the comments below. I would really appreciate it. If eventually I have affiliate links for these in the description and you do plan on buying them, I'd really appreciate it if you would use those links. It would really help the channel out, especially at these early stages of growth. Shameless plug. But yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. No, just thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you next time and watch this video. I don't know. Bye.